Hello and welcome back. Today we are continuing our Siam run. Last episode we did pop off a little bit. We popped off in a couple ways. One, we got recognition from Spain, who declared war on us. And two, we kind of consolidated the peninsula here with making Burma our subject. Yunnan is also our subject, so we're in really good shape here. We're up at 200 construction. We're starting to, push the university level here in Bangkok. And so this is really going to allow us to kind of catch up with the way a lot of other powers are. Our economy is still relatively small compared to some of these big cats, but we're hoping to expand that quite a bit, especially because, look, Yunnan is a subject of ours. They have, let's take a look, 17 million GDP. If you think of us as being combined with some of our subjects, whom we are going to annex in the nearest future, we really do have a pretty solid base, and there's going to be a lot of pops in Yunnan as well. That's going to allow us to expand Yunnan. The state has 8 million, we have 33 million total, and 18 million in Sichuan. And so this is going to really allow us to, once this guy gets annexed, it's going to double our population. We just have to make a sort of push at some point towards multiculturalism so we can accept them so they can migrate. By the way, this run is on Victoria Tweaks mod, and so this is kind of why a lot of stuff is going to be a little bit different, but overall it's still going to mainly be the same game. So let's be off and on our way. So rubber in Bangkok is going to be extremely nice, so we're going to get the migration attraction. That's kind of an okay thing, but it's going to be really nice because this is actually where we have a huge amount of our manufacturing. We don't have a lot of input resources, but one of the ones we do have is rubber, so this is going to be pretty good. We're going to add a couple layers, put it on auto expand. This is pushing some of our stuff back a little bit here. We're going to kick that to the top because it's 1 week out, but this is going to be good, and we have the unis kind of coming on in. As far as like diplomacy and expanding the customs union, stuff like this, I think we're still maintaining a sort of philosophy where we are declaring interests in a way that is radially kind of extending out from Indochina, and so this leaves us with kind of limited options as far as expanding the market goes, although we are starting to develop new options here. I don't think we're quite strong enough to maybe land Japan to open their market, and so we can't really do that, and we can go after North China, but now with this extra interest here in Persia, we can maybe start doing some market moves and look to get Persia into our market, something like this, maybe the Sikh Empire. We haven't really been making any of these money moves just yet. I suppose we could go after the Philippines. They are recognized, and so protectorating them will be more expensive, and getting them into our customs union would be pretty nice. And so let's just check in on how much a bankroll is. It is a little bit expensive. We could just look to improve relations with them first. They're already plus 50. So this is a little bit tempting. We haven't really started to... I'm just so tempted to make a market out of this, but it's pretty expensive. I think we'd rather take the construction at this juncture rather than kind of feeding them that much gold. How much is it on Persia? Persia's pretty expensive too. Persia is, of course, a really good place to protectorate, but I think that we're not going to do that given the situation where, it would be much better for us to go after the Heavenly Kingdom, I think. They're not quite decayed. We could try and fight Great Qing just to get something done. They're not, constantly bankrupting in the same way Heavenly Kingdom is. So Heavenly Kingdom's a really soft target, and so we could do a liberate / war reps war against Heavenly Kingdom. They have an army power projection of around 2k. I think we just chill here, and we're getting racial segregation in. Once we get this in, I think we will just go to universal suffrage, depending on how... The trade unions aren't that close to being demarginalized, so maybe we don't. Really, Victoria Tweaks mod is really pushing up the petite bourgeoisie clout quite a lot more than normal. What is this? Netherlands trade agreement? Sure. So Quinine is going to be a huge tech for us in our kind of colonial ambitions, because now we are going to be able to establish a whole bunch of new colonies. So we're going to establish here, And the big reason we're establishing in so many places, at least up here, is we are hoping to trade, one of these little inky-dinky states, in addition to, actually getting in here. We're hoping to trade one of these to UK for their, presence in Malay, maybe. And also, of course, we do want to, colonize Papua and also the Micronesian islands, at least the ones that are not yet colonized, because there's been quite a bit of colonization in these parts. This will also, once we get these, will give us a native interest. We have been expanding expanding our interest radially out from here. And I think that we can take... So we either going to go Siberia. What do we think is closer here? Siberia or Arabia? I think Arabia... I think we want the interest in Arabia. And I also think it actually is closer to Indochina, so we're going to take it. And this will this will give us a nice places to expand, specifically for the purposes of oil in Bahrain and Nejd. But also maybe something with the Trucial states. We are getting, or trying to pass public health insurance, notably in this mod. It does not give, flat SOL, so it's nowhere near as good, but we really want reduction from effects of pollution. In fact, pollution might be different in this mod as well. So I guess we could take a quick look, and I don't have the numbers memorized on pollution numbers, but this doesn't seem too bad. I think that might be less than standard or normal. The negative effects here of pollution at 100%. We're not at 100%, but we do, man, these guys are all matching. But we do want to get it in. We also have an edict down here for, encouraging throughput. And so we are still building up here in the capital. Hopefully, we are using labor-saving PMs even when they're not profitable here. And the main reason is we are trying to increase the overall density of, pops that are going to be machinists or engineers to hopefully bring the trade unions up a little bit faster. We're not very acceptable. This is kind of a bit unfortunate. We could reform a little bit, but currently, the industrialists aren't very happy with us. And there's not a lot we can give them at this point that we haven't already given them other than, free trade, which we might look to do kind of straight away after this law, which will make the rural folk upset, but, public health insurance is currently making the industrialists upset. We just finished Steam Donkey, and the techs are starting to kind of kick off here, or really ramp up because the unis are starting to come through. We are going to come through, and we are going to switch as many as we can, but we are going to exempt. Oops, we meant to exempt there. But for most of these will be profitable because we do not have like huge gluts of pops, generally speaking. And we're also going to come through and do the same thing here, where we're going to swap everything over to the rails and just exempt anything where it says it won't be profitable. This is a much faster swap. I really like the change that they made here, which kind of allows us to swap over most things. And also we got a new railway PM, which is going to give us a glut of rails in several areas, and so this is another reason why we are swapping this over. Wow, every rubber plantation's ready to go with the transportation, so that's going to be pretty good. We are starting to really kind of pop off here. The trajectory for our economy is looking extraordinarily good, and there's so many techs we don't have, and so this is going to be absolutely spectacular for us. Congo backs down, and we're still looking for like little small bally wars to kind of do. We're probably going to annex Dynam in the near future, just as long as it's not kicking us over 25 infamy, because we don't want anyone, thumbing our pie a little bit too much, especially because our army is a little bit behind where we are, I think, and maybe we'll add a little bit here, actually, now that I think about it, and look to bring this up to, another 30 stack that's commensurate with this. Actually, troop borrowing's not working the way it should be working, so we're actually just going to make this a doom stack. And so we'll expand this one out a little bit. So we got the pump jacks up and going, which is going to be very, very good for us, especially because we are trying to focus on rubber. We also tried exporting rubber at a loss in a couple spots with the idea that, hey, maybe if we export the rubber, maybe the other pops or the other countries will start using it a little bit more. Let's just check in on those trade routes and see if they're generating revenue or if they're just sinking money into oblivion. They're sinking money into oblivion. Let's get rid of them. And we also have this Taiping peasant revolt against the Heavenly Kingdom, which we are going to watch with great interest because this represents an enormous opportunity. If the Heavenly Kingdom wins, which, okay, they're very unlikely to because they're currently bankrupt and the other side is not. But if they did somehow win, it would actually be tremendous for us because this means, like, right before they enforce, what we could do is we could just, declare and subjugate the Heavenly Kingdom. It will be based on, it'll only cost 28 infamy. Are they actually pushing them? Hold the phone and pump the brakes. I mean, if they full occupy them just because they didn't mobilize or something, are there no troops for the Heavenly Kingdom here? I mean, it says 69 battalions, nice. And there's only 1k power projection here. What's going on here? But this is, of course, going to be very, very interesting to us because if we can subjugate for 28 infamy, we're in. This is, I mean, like, we're totally on board with that. That's our speed, that's our jam, you know what I mean? And so this is going to be something we prefer to see, and we're also going to put down this Transvaali thing. And it's looking like looking like they might be pushing. I mean, we could just you know, temporarily bankroll them, or we could, no, we can't bankroll them. Why not? Bad relations, fair enough. As we're thinking of annexing them, the bad relations do kick in. Also, the petite bourgeoisie is really strong. Citizen of the world untie. I think we'll just take, you know, I think we can afford the, without checking, I think we can afford that. But if these guys push and full occupy, you know, this radical heavenly kingdom, looks like we got Tibetan revolution as well. If this happens, we should be able to subjugate for just 28 infamy, which is going to be an absolutely monstrous thing for us. And so we'll be watching this with, you know, great and fantastic interest. And just see, yeah, so it looks like Heavenly Kingdom's finally gotten caught by, yeah. So this is what we're expecting, like, these types of battles, and the penalty to be too large for them to overcome. So it's looking like we got lucky here, and the radical Heavenly Kingdom is going to be capitulating relatively soon to the Heavenly Kingdom. So what we are going to do is we are going to protectorate the Heavenly Kingdom for only 28 infamy, big nice, and in that time we are expecting to see the radical Heavenly Kingdom, you know, capitulate to them. We're going to raise all the conscripts because this might be a little bit, we might have a bit of a big war, so just in case people join against us, we're going to raise kind of like the max troops, because we really don't want this one to get flubbed. And Great Qing notably cannot join against us because they owe us an obligation because we helped them out with this Tibetan thing. So this is going to be nice for us because Great Qing is one of the people who is very likely to kind of join against us. And so that they will not be doing that, guaranteed, good dealsies, is going to be very advantageous for us. We're just going to station these guys actually in the Siam HQ along with the National Guard unit to defend against landings, which we are expecting. What the fuck? We're just gonna give in to, return Siamese Congo. I think we're just gonna give in to this, to be honest. This is an absolutely huge play, and it's it's at the perfectly wrong timing, and we were just gonna we were planning on just trading away Siamese Congo, but we can just, you know, we can afford to lose this stuff. We don't care if Burma's slavery gets banned. Slavery gets banned in Burma, so we're just going to give in here. We're going to lose that little snippet of the Congo, which is a bit unfortunate, but we'll be able to, after we annex Congo, we'll be able to maybe get another little thing in, and that was frightening. Luckily, they didn't put anything too crazy in, and we also capitulated immediately, just in case they were planning on, you know, putting more in. They want to return Yunnan, conquer Congo. Conquer Congo. Oh, I see. Spain has joined as well. I think that we can manage to deal with Spain, although Spain is relatively big. Okay. Thinking, so they do have this bankruptcy, and so they themselves will not be very good at fighting, and so we will try and have to, I don't know, we're gonna have to try and figure out a way to do this. I think we might need to mass conscript up quite a bit, and so we will add a whole ton of conscripts to these things in order to make sure that we have enough. I don't think we're going to put in any war goals on Spain, because if we don't put in any war goals on Spain, they're much less likely to actually, actually commit as much troops, and so we'll kind of do that. I suppose we could transfer Qing, but we don't want to transfer states, so we'll try and make this one work here. So I think the name of the game in this war, we do get a cheeky landing in, but I think the name of the game, considering this, they have like this 90 stack, Spain does on this front, which is just absolutely catastrophic for us. I think the name of the game is going to be just waiting out, you know, Spain's capitulation, and or maybe giving Congo over to Spain, so that we can just get this. This is worth so much more, and so we really want to get it in. But Spain is pushing us here. Their army is way stronger than what we're used to. The AI has just overall been performing way stronger, and so we didn't I don't think we adjusted enough. You know, Spain's, they're not even that strong in terms of their economy, but like, man, oh man, do they have a ton of army here. And they've decided to dedicate pretty much all of it, which is a bit unfortunate. I can't find their unit. It was like an 87 stack. Maybe it's a 71 stack. No, there was an 87 stack that got in here, and so we're kind of looking around for that one, trying to find it, and it looks like they're going to send our navy back to the Shadow Realm. A bit unfortunate. Are we winning that battle? No, there's no way. But hopefully these guys manage to push in. Now, they are on rapid advance. We're going to set in a couple of these guys and set them all on rapid advance because this is kind of the way you want to do this. We should have had more kind of in on this because this 37 stack's coming for us. And so once they're there, it's really going to be hard for us to be able to do anything. We're just going to move this stack on over. And once this 19 stack comes over here, we're going to look to land Xiaozhou, and maybe, I don't think this breaks Spain's ability to get here, which is kind of silly, but if we can completely cut them off from getting any sort of goods, this will maybe be good. We're going to get some enactment chance here. I think we're going to, we can't really afford, well, we can't afford not to have health insurance, right? And so we're going to just do that, and then look to get these guys. We're going to set all these guys on defend, have them stop advancing. That way, once this battle ends, they will not engage in a new battle. That way, we can use them to land again once this front is kind of, you know, pierced. And we will have, we have time. This is the most critical thing because Spain is going to tick down really, really fast because we have no war goals on them. And so, this revolution's also a little bit spooky. We might have to, oh, damn it. We missed the timing. We did want to try and do something here. It looks like we might be winning that battle anyways, though, so that's, like, maybe okay. But we did want this guy to catch it and not this 16 stack, which we want to use to land in Xiaozhou here. But yeah, we're just going to be trying to micro the landowners have demands. I'm sure they do. So I think this is a visual bug here, because when we take a look at this army, it says that they're involved in battle, and it says they're at the Sichuan Xiaozhou front. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pull a sneaky. We're going to take our landing squad, and we're going to land Spain. While we are trying to hold on here, it looks like Spain's just committed everything, and so if Spain's going to commit everything over here, then we can commit just a little bit over onto Spain and, you know, kind of decimate them before they can do anything about it. This is provided that visual bug is indeed a visual bug, and so what we will make sure we are on rapid advance everywhere. That way we can push as quickly as possible if there's no resistance, which we're kind of assuming there is no resistance. And so we're hoping that this kind of gets it in. They do not occupy Yunnan, which is their war goal, so we will be safe for a little bit, but they are pushing us, and so this is pretty dangerous. We do have this extra front here. Oh, it looks like, wait, we just enforced on them? Okay. Well, I guess that works, and so now the only thing is to white piece out these guys, I suppose. And if their army is indeed, you know, occupied over here and then not back here because magic, and it doesn't appear to be back here, I think we'll be able to, like, full occupy them here. And certainly, wait, why, oh, did they actually occupy Congo here? Wait, what's going on? Why are we decayed? Conquer Congo. It's not occupied, though, is it? Bro, it's not occupied. Why can they try and get that? That's insane. That's stupid. It's not occupied, my guy. They're not even part of the war, I don't think. Why are we getting ticked down? That's so incredibly stupid. Okay, well, hopefully we just get in and we get to be stupid back and just, like, full occupy everything and just get a white piece for ourselves, because we didn't put any war goals in on them and they decided to commit all their troops over to the wrong side. Woo! That's the fascist Prussia. Looks like World War II came a little bit early, eh? So this is going to be fantastic for us, though. They're also in our market, and since they are our subject, we can change things around. The thing we want to get them off of is close borders as much as possible, but right now they keep on bankrupting themselves, so we'll tell them to go no social security. That way they stop bankrupting themselves, and they can actually maybe get something done down the line. If we just need to find a way to get the industrialists in power, or someone in power, so we can open up them borders. So during that period, we got steel frame buildings, but I was a little bit leery about increasing our expenses during that period. But now we're all set to go. We have a bunch of, steel and glass in the queue to try and ease this up. And so we're going to slowly begin the swap over to steel frame buildings, looking to really, really crank up that construction. It's very, very strong tech. I think we're going to go civilizing mission. We're going to hold off and see exactly whether or not we want to go something else. But in order to actually make use of civilizing mission, we are going to need some more bureaucracy, and we know just where to build it. Of course, the place that does not have any sufficient, or does not have sufficient tax kind of stuff going on, which is of course Guangdong. Looks like we're already putting quite a bit in. We're going to put a bit more and then kind of top off some of these other places. That way they are all ready to go. And, we're in really... So we're in really good shape following that. That was kind of just an absolute gift into the lap. This was like a 70 infamy, protectorate normally, and we got it for 28, which is going to mean like a huge deal. Well, it's just obviously a very big deal, and there's so many pops here, 185 million pops. So when we eventually annex them, it'll be like playing China Light a little bit. And so we've gone from what is a very, very tough start in Siam to like... Now we feel like we're playing China Light, which is going to be really good. It's not even 1900 yet, and we really kind of taken... Oop. Well, that too. Yep. Bug spot. Alright, well, I've got some bad news. It seems that no matter what we do, whenever we reload, we just crash on the exact same date. So I think the save file and this run is bricked, and so we will be concluding the run here. Unfortunately... we largely accomplished our goal, although we didn't have the eventual showdown that we wanted with the UK. But our goal was to kind of occupy all of Southeast Asia. We're in pretty good shape in that regard. Our GDP, we are not the number one. We're not the number one GP. We're not even a GP, although we should be pretty close at this juncture because we are getting quite a bit from having the Heavenly Kingdom as our subject. And so we are in pretty good shape, for a come up, 10 years or 15 years down the road, eventually integrating the Heavenly Kingdom on top of, Yunnan, which has a pretty big GDP in their own right, Dainan, Burma. You can see how this will be a pretty good spot for us. We're kind of leaning into the rubber. We were getting so much done. Kind of feels bad, man. We did a pretty good job here, so let's just look at like what we got going on. SOL, we're in terrible shape here in terms of our SOL relative to the rest of the world, all the way down here. Didn't really get to turn a corner in regards to SOL because we still have a ton of peasants and also unemployed, available to be worked, and we were kind of... we were just turning a corner with the construction too. Like, I think we started this episode with like 200 something construction, and now we're at 450, and we're just like blasting, and we're like barely losing money. We just hit steel frame buildings, man. There's so much that like this run has so much potential to just like pop off like super, super hard in the next like little bit, and we're just not going to get to see it. It's such a shame. Like, we were going to go malaria prevention. The plan was to, get a big chunk of Africa, probably not all of Africa, maybe trade the UK, for their portions of Malay, and then eventually have to fight the Raj, or free the Raj and then fight the Raj. Something like this in order to fully lock down into China as a spot. We're going to be able to trade this away from Great Britain as well and get some nice clean borders. We were trying to play in a very, clean and methodical way where we're just like, hey, we're just organically expanding out from into China here, with the exception of going for Africa, because just colonialization. We didn't even take, like, Transvaal. We subjugated them, but we didn't take them, at least not yet. They might accept, okay? It doesn't really matter. Anyways, it was a bit fun. I'm not sure if I'll play another run on this. I do have to investigate a little bit how common, like, run-killing crashes are. I haven't heard anything of this in the past, and generally speaking, people seem to really enjoy this mod, but it is a little bit unfortunate that we kind of crash in our first one out where we're going for some stuff. Man, the borders are so clean. We don't have, like, all this random stuff in the middle of nowhere. Looks like Brazil has gone Republic. I also kind of like the way the AI plays. The AI seems a lot more competent. It's a lot more challenging, to do stuff. in regards to the AI is just putting up way bigger armies than like we're used to, like Spain. We're not used to Spain having like such a big army power projection. Looks like they've come down a little bit. I don't know. They were at like double the power projection, you know, earlier. Anyways, it's unfortunate. But I hope you enjoyed this episode and run. If you guys like, you know, kind of a little bit more RP leaning type of stuff, please let me know. I know that a lot of people watch me just for like meta and so this type of thing, and so that's often kind of how I like to play. It's also how I like to play, or how I try and play, but it's also kind of how I like to play, just because I feel like I'm making a mistake when I leave South Africa on the table. Like, it just feels bad or just like wrong, and so... this run was also a Patreon run. We are deciding one run a month on Patreon, and so people voted for first, you know, the region, and then we got like Asia, and then we got more specific, like what strategic region. People chose Indochina, and then from Indochina we had several votes, or we had one more vote based on like releasable. Siam, Burma, Dainam, and Karen was one of them. You can release Karen from this state here. We would have had to talk to the manager, and so, but the people picked Siam, and so we had ourselves a little bit of a Siam run. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, etc., and have a good one.